Welcome to the Next Level Podcast with Brian Daniels. Ooh, boom shakalaka.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Next Level Podcast. My name is Brian Daniels. I'm your host, and we have a very special guest with us here on this episode. You guys can see him right down there. But before I introduce our very special guest, I want to introduce my co-host, starting with my lovely wife, Raven.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good. You excited for this episode?
I'm very excited.
I know, me too. And then joining us is my podcast tag team partner, Josh Thunder Shaver. What's going on, Josh?
How's it going, Brian?
I'm glad you're here with us.
Do we just ask each other how's it going at the same time?
How's it going? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I had a beautiful dinner.
That's good. You ate 3 whole steaks, right? That's what you said?
I had 3 whole fucking steaks.
Sounds so good. Well, we have a guy that might be able to help you cook a really delicious steak, because joining us on this episode is none other than comedian and professional chef, our friend, Henry Phillips. Welcome to the show, Henry. It's back. Welcome back to the show. It's been too long.
Hey, good to be here, Brian. Yeah, no, absolutely. And good to see you, Raven.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
And nice to meet you, Josh.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
So,
3
of course,
steaks. Wow.
I know, right?
This Korean barbecue place opened up around the corner, and it's all you can eat. And I said, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna take that challenge."
So, it does steak fall into Korean barbecue? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they brought a pretty big size. I'm used to it being the little rolls of shaved meat, but it was a pretty good size, pretty thick steak.
That's what I'm used to also.
I was going to say, yeah.
I know they have something called bulgogi, which is more like ground meat, I think, right? Or I don't know.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm not
But
sure.
it's
I
all
never
delicious.
ordered that one.
They give it to you like in a hot plate or something like that. But yeah, that's good stuff.
Nice, man.
Delicious.
Nice. So I'm going to set this up because we've had Henry on our show before. He was on episode 16. If you want to go back, which you should, go back and listen to and watch the first go around with our friend Henry here. If you don't know anything about Henry, as I said in the opener, Henry is he's a stand-up comedian, kind of local. He did well, not local to our state, but he was on the Bob and Tom show. That's kind of how I discovered that as I got to watch more and more of your content. But yeah, he was on the Bob and Tom show a few times, and which is pretty cool. Henry goes on tour from time to time. I know you just wrapped up some shows in Chicago and in St. Louis, right? How did those shows go?
Those were a lot of fun. Yeah, and all the folks from the Twitch and YouTube come out, and it's a lot more fun, I'll be honest with you, than it used to be. It always was fun. Yeah. But I feel like the people that show up to the shows now, we all share the common goal of wanting to be good at cooking. And, people have their aprons, their cookbooks and everything they want me to sign. And I couldn't be more delighted. It's really fun. I'm doing a show not too far from you guys. It's not on the website yet, but it's in Illinois. Mahomet.
Okay.
Do you know where that is?
No.
I think it's Southern Illinois. Probably not. You're in Southern Indiana, is that right?
Yeah.
We are, yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna look at I ever did there was a casino I did called the Belterra, I think it was.
That's in Madison, Indiana.
Yeah.
Is that around where you are?
An hour away
about
from
an
where we
hour.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more
Like it was near Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a little more east.
Yeah.
We're
But
right.
I don't know if we already and it's been
Louisville.
so long, I don't know if we've already just talked about all this stuff, but boy, one of my fondest memories. I am very lucky that I got to travel for at least 20 years all over this great country. And I did a show in Greenwood, Indiana, which was an Indianapolis suburb, if I remember correctly.
Holy cow.
I used to live there.
Yep. That's where we're
There.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I can't remember the name of the comedy club. You might, but
Morty's?
No, Morty's I did do in Indianapolis, but this is probably a couple generations ago. No, not even Crackers. It was before that.
Yeah,
And probably talking literally, well, this gig was probably 20 years ago. And we were all pretty young back then. There was the opening comic was a great guy, and I don't remember his name. And but we all did karaoke at the bar next to it afterward and met a bunch of people.
Oh, that's
and
cool,
this one guy said, we should all go down to my place and hang out. And so we went down. Maybe this guy lived about an hour south or 40 minutes south of that, and he was on a lake. He lived right on the lake.
Oh,
And
wow.
we watched, and this is like a city guy like myself, a guy who was born in New York City, then moved out to LA. We didn't really have this experience that you guys probably take for granted, but we watched the movie The Last Waltz from the band. There's a band called The Band, and the movie was Martin Scorsese, and it came out in the early 70s. And we watched it so damn loud that it was fantastic. But anybody who lives in a city, we would have never been able to listen to it that loud, even if it were in the middle of the day. It would be like, it was fantastic. We had beers, watched that, and then we all went out on the boat and went around the lake, at like,
that sounds amazing.
11 p.m. or something. But I was just like, boy, this is some real good living. So I don't know if you guys get to do stuff like that all the time, but
no, unfortunately not.
Well, we have we live like right by the Ohio River, so we're
okay,
Louisville. So we
That's
have like
nice.
they have like the what's it called, the Bell of Louisville, and you can do like a whole yearly. You can do a whole yearly membership for that. We did that one year.
Yeah,
and we
you
would
go
always
on it as many times as you want throughout the season, and
that's cool.
That's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be out on the river. We do a lot. I mean, we've done a lot of sunset cruises on the river. Not the same as being on the lake in the boat. And,
not the same.
Yeah, I mean, there were little islands, I guess, or little bodies of land there that we went. I mean, we must have gone out on the boat for about a half hour or so and just gone all around. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
But I'm really lucky that I got to travel. I mean, I pretty much went to every single state there.
That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
I think there's about 3 or 4 that I didn't get to. I never got to Maine.
Been there.
And
really?
Oh yeah. I have not.
What goes on there? Not
a whole lot.
Seafood.
Seafood.
Oh yeah.
There's like seafood and trees. Lots of forests and
lighthouses.
Oh, that would make sense.
The people there are super friendly. It's a very beautiful part. I mean, that whole like northeastern, you get to like New England down, that whole area, like Connecticut, New Hampshire, all that, Vermont. It's just beautiful parts. Now, see, you're out in the West Coast.
They did a good job keeping guys like me away from it for some reason, because I never got to go anywhere near that.
Now you're out on the West Coast. You're out in California. I've never been to California. I need to get out there.
You got to get out here.
I've never been is Colorado, which I absolutely fell in love with.
Oh yeah,
that's
great. Denver, Boulder, those are great.
That's
cities.
where I went with Denver. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
the Stanley Hotel. But yeah.
What hotel?
The Stanley Hotel from The Shining. Well.
Oh wow. Okay.
What inspired The Shining.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I love California. I mean, there's so much all the way up the Pacific coast. There's also inland. You have places like Temecula, where you can go wine tasting, and you've got. I mean, I think the important thing is to make sure that you consult with somebody who lives in California. I think that's the same with anything, because it's like if you go to a place and you don't really know where to go, you can end up just falling into either a place that's very inconvenient or too expensive or whatever. I mean, I live in Southern California, and I'm really a big fan of the whole San Gabriel Valley, the Pasadena, Burbank, Glendale, all that stuff. And some people would say that's a little bit I don't know what the word is, square or something like that. But to me, it's just much more convenient, than being right in the city. I mean, sure, it's fun to be right downtown LA and all that stuff, but then you're paying a lot of money for parking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Same with New York. I always preferred going to see my friends in Queens, and in a place called Astoria over there.
I live in Queens, Henry. Did I ever tell you?
Oh, you
that?
did? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Like, a month or
for a little while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Manhattan's great, but I'd rather just go there for the day, but then go back to Queens and hang out.
Exactly what we did too.
Yeah, much less.
How did you wind up from New York to California?
Well, I was born in '69 in New York City. My folks and my brother, we all lived in Manhattan, right in the city, in the '70s. My parents were actors, and my dad was did some stage acting there, and my mom would book commercials here and there. And then we moved to Englewood, New Jersey, across the river in about 1980. And then that's sort of a New York suburb. They would still go in and do auditions and stuff like that. And then it's really interesting. My dad, he had a friend who wrote a one-man show, and he said to my dad, I think you would be great to, because the guy who wrote it wasn't an actor, but he needed an actor to perform it. And he said, I think you'd be the guy to do it. And I've got this theater out in Los Angeles that wants to do it. My parents said, I don't know if they had ever been to LA, and so we all came out for a summer for my dad to do this little show at this little theater. And it was 2 one-man shows. It was a double header with my dad and Rhea Perlman, who was Danny DeVito's girlfriend at the time, later to be wife. And Danny DeVito was there every time they did the show, and Danny DeVito wound up falling in love with my dad. He was just like, oh, this guy's great. And he got him on Taxi, and you could see there's an episode called On the Job that features my dad. Bill Wiley was the name he went by on Taxi.
I gotta go back and look for that.
Yeah.
And and my dad killed it, and then he started getting offers to do more stuff, and so he was like, kids, I think we're moving out to LA. And that would have been in the early 80s, and I've been here ever since,
Wow, that's fantastic.
That's super rad, man. That's
man,
that's so cool, man. Yeah. I know, we'll tell this story. We told it on our last episode about how did we come across Mr. Henry Phillips. So I believe it was, I think it was S-Fan.
Oh, really? Okay.
You're looking at me like, who the hell is that?
I've heard the name.
Oh, have you? Okay. So he's a Twitch streamer, one that I really enjoy watching.
Great guy.
Actually, and Henry actually ended up doing a stream with S.
Yeah. One of the highlights of my Twitch career.
Which was really cool. And he was playing some of your stuff, and I was like, there's no way this guy is like really like cooking this. Like there's no way, right? You can't be seriously this idiotic and cook. Like there's no way. So I no offense, but
it's not too far. Not too far off.
So I was telling Raven, I was like, Raven, you gotta see this guy. And I think we just spent like that entire night.
We did. We spent like at least 4 hours, probably.
4 hours. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. We watched you cook for 4 hours.
But not just the cooking. We watched the Highwayman.
Yeah, we
binged. Yeah, we binged your stuff. Yeah, for like 3 or 4 hours,
and we just got immediately hooked.
Yeah,
and
that's so cool.
And then how we searched up your name, and then it took us to your YouTube channel. Then I searched your name again, and I was like, I need more Henry. I can't get enough. So I saw your Larry King interview, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And then I watched your really funny elevator story. If you haven't seen that,
oh yeah,
that's a really good one.
True story.
Yeah, and then this was before you really started doing more content that you had with your Twitch. I don't even think you were doing a whole lot of stuff.
No, yeah, I met you guys early on.
Yeah.
Since then, there's probably been, well, if there's 50, no, there's probably 100 a year. So there's probably 300 episodes since then. And then I guess I probably do about one new YouTube video a month. So there's another 30 of those since we hung out. And when I started doing the cooking thing, I knew I was onto something because it allowed me to be, I don't think it's too far from the real me. I think we all need to lean into whatever other people, if people make fun of us for any reason, then be that and be it a little bit more and entertain them with it. I'm okay with that. I think I spent a lot of my earlier years of being a comedian and stuff as trying to be cool. And you can even see it on my first couple of CDs. Or do you guys see me okay? I always
we can see
your cameras. Your cameras
Oh, that's odd.
Suddenly
Weird.
changed on me.
That's
But
weird.
Oh, no.
yeah, maybe it's a connection thing, but I'm showing anyway, keep an eye on it, but make sure that we have a good connection. But if you look, you'll see on the first couple of CDs that I have that I'm just trying to look like Bon Jovi or something, because that's who I wanted to be. You know, I wanted to be a rock star. That's what I wanted to be. And I found myself, it's like, no, Henry, you don't get to be a rock star. Apparently you're just a guy who makes people laugh. And it's like, all right. And it took me a while to sort of eventually embrace that, you know?
So what brought you into the realm of comedy? Did you, I mean, you know, with your dad being an actor and everything, how did you step into this?
I always used to make my friends laugh, mostly intentionally, but sometimes unintentionally. I remember having a guitar lesson back in about 87 or something like that with a guy. And this is just the kind of stuff that just sticks out in your memories or whatever. But I just remember I was really cracking him up somehow. I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but I just remember him. He never complimented my guitar playing once at all, but he was like, man, you're just killing me over here with, you know, with your deadpan comments. And I'm like, I'm not even trying to really be funny. There must be something that I'm saying or doing that's making the guy laugh. But over a couple of years, I started realizing that I have something about me that just makes people laugh. I don't know if it's this sort of spaciness or whatever it is, but
Can I tell you what it is for me? Can I tell you what it is for me? So you know. I think what it is with you, that's such, because I watch a lot of comedians, right?
Yeah.
And I think the problem with a lot of comedians is I think they try too hard to make people laugh. I think they are, and you probably have seen that too with people.
Yeah.
Is it's too hard about nailing the joke or landing the plane on the joke. And with you, I don't feel that it's twofold. It's the lines you're trying to deliver are funny themselves. I think if somebody else were delivering those lines, they would not be as funny, because it's your personality that you have to be the one to deliver it, because and especially with the cooking thing, there really is no. I think you've kind of cornered the market on that, truthfully, because I don't see anybody. Because when we found out about you, I was like, I had never really thought about, and it's one of those things where comedy is one of my favorite genres anyway. I don't know if I told you this, but I used to work at a Blockbuster Video for 10 years. I watched comedy.
I knew that.
A ton. And so I don't think, and I'm one of those people, I love finding unique things. We always, like Raven and I, part of what we do is we go to conventions a lot. We're always looking for the unique, like who is standing out among the vendors. You can go to a con and see 100 vendors, but who's that one that's really going to be like, okay, that's the draw. So for you, when it comes to comedy with this cooking thing, I had that's a medium of, or I guess a subgenre of comedy that I never really knew I wanted in my life.
Yeah.
Until you kind of, as I said, you've cornered the market on that, because I don't think anybody else has dared to try to do what you do. And no one else before, I don't think, really did that. I know we talked about the guy who cooked everything in the microwave all the time, that guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was doing it purposely to be funny. You are doing that. And so for me, it's your tone, it's your voice. You have very good expressionless demeanor when you do your comedy. That whole thing you do where you stare at the camera for like what feels like you're looking into my soul as I'm watching it on YouTube.
It's just enough to be awkward. It's just enough to like be you hit that awkward stage and then you're good.
Yeah.
So it's just enough to be awkward, but not too awkward, you know?
Yeah.
Like you have it down perfect.
Because I always tell Raven when we're watching your bits, I'm like, I couldn't do that, man. There's absolutely no.
I'll tell you,
no way. Yeah.
I mean, it started from me watching people, and there was a guy named Shane. There was a video. Shane sings 5 octaves on the piano.
Yeah.
You can find it on YouTube.
Okay.
I laughed so freaking hard at this guy, and I still to this day don't know if he was trying to be funny. If he's trying to be funny, then he's a genius. But even if he's not, kudos to him for putting himself on there. And there was something to me about the fact that he's instructing. He's like teaching something, but he's terrible at it. But very serious. And so I tried when I did the first video, my French toast video, and I still.
Yeah.
I'm very, very sad that I have a hard drive somewhere that crapped out on me, but it's got all the outtakes or all the raw footage of that first video. And I could not get through it to save my life. I could not get through it without laughing. I was just like, I kept on showing the camera and I'd go like this and I just started laughing. It was impossible. I had to do it about 30 times before I was able to finally start doing it. And it's suddenly I would have to think of something really sad or something like that to try to get through the whole thing without laughing. And so that I knew I was onto something because I was like, well, if I'm laughing this hard, then my friends are definitely going to laugh at it. And but yeah, it's mostly me trying to imitate the videos that I was seeing at the time because there was just so many amateur videos, and it makes me sad that now it's hard to find those. Everybody's gotten pretty good with lighting, editing. You know, you could even have AI just to do so much stuff or whatever. You know, eventually you're not going to have that classic era of just amateur looking stuff, and that stuff is so funny. You know.
Yeah, and you have to understand too, like your first video. I've got your videos pulled up by like most popular. That first video, still your second most popular video, is 762,000 views. With your second video,
popular
is at how to make Henry's Ancient Choice 1.4 million views. And what's cool about that is, how did I miss you for 14 years for one, but two is you were at an early. You're considered like old school YouTube, right? And old school YouTube is in an entire era in and of itself, where you started doing it when there weren't like it wasn't overly flooded with ads. There wasn't like really a whole lot of monetization back then 14 years ago. We're talking like
there wasn't an algorithm. There wasn't
a whole lot of that stuff. So I mean, you were really doing it before YouTube was cool to do YouTube video.
And YouTube also changed something back in like 2015 or so that really made a lot of people angry. It wasn't the way that I made my living at the time. I was a road comic, so it didn't bother me as much, but almost overnight they made this change that meant that everybody was getting about 10% of the views that they normally. It used to be that if you put out a video, you get as many views as you have subscribers. Everybody would get notified either by email, say, hey, that person you subscribed to just made a new video. And then they stopped doing that because they realized that doesn't help them as much. It helps us. But then they said, well, let's just send them to whatever video they're more likely to stay onto. And unfortunately, I think that's where a lot of the political garbage came from, because people would get more engaged and they'd sit there and get angry and they'd start commenting on stuff. And YouTube liked that because it meant that somebody was staying on there, and then they're looking at more ads, and with me, it would they'd watch a 5-minute video and then move on with their life. And that doesn't help them. I mean, I'm sounding very cynical, but I think that's kind of what it is, that's the new way.
No, you're not wrong. And the thing too, what's great about your channel, and because there's a lot of people I watch on YouTube. I think YouTube has replaced like TV for me. I don't even really watch just TV.
I mean, and I think that's been the case for a lot of people. I mean, like there are news channels that have like their news broadcast live on YouTube. I mean, like that is their news channel
for sure. So. But what I appreciate about you in particular, Henry, is the fact that as I was saying, I have a lot of people I subscribe to on YouTube. They have really changed and became, everybody loves the drama. That's the meta. Like everybody, like YouTubers getting into with other YouTubers, or mostly talking about politics, right?
Yeah.
And you have just been you. You have not changed that at all.
I love it.
You have maintained this over the last, 14 going on 15 years. it's just your comedy. It's your kitchen stuff. It's your anything else you create. You have not, I guess, conformed to the system in a way on YouTube, and you have still remained successful because of that. And I will say this as someone who does content creation just like you do here, I appreciate you for that, for not conforming to any sort of different thing to try to stay relevant with everybody else. I appreciate that.
Well, that's cool to hear. Yeah, I mean, because the kitchen thing, I mean, I don't think you can milk it more than I have been for 15 years. I'm just literally, I'm going to do one in a couple weeks, and I'm putting old Patreon episodes up every Tuesday on YouTube and on my channel, and I'm also putting Patreon ones. If people started saying, okay, buddy, it's time, like you've already done this is over. But honestly, I don't get that. I mean, every once in a while you'll get somebody who says that, but I don't really get a lot of people saying that. And I'm saying, well, everybody has to have a job, right? So this is my job, you know, man. And I'm lucky to have that job, you know. And by the way, when you use the word successful, maybe in quotes, you know, I mean, I've never been a person who required, when I was doing comedy on the road, I was fine with, you know, literally you know, if I could pay the rent with whatever I made throughout the month, you know, and able to travel and still have a little left over for food. And but I've always been somebody who's just sort of been okay with a moderate lifestyle, you know, and and so I have kind of a working class you know, income based on just this show that I do out of my home, and I couldn't be happier. I'm very lucky to have that, you know. And
for sure, dude.
But I think that's another reason. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, that's it.
I think that's another reason why us and a lot of other people can relate so well with you, because I mean, we're kind of in that same boat. I mean, you know, I have a full-time day job or whatever, but this is what Brian does, you know, for a living. I mean, even with the economy the way it is now, and I mean, we're still able to do it this way, you know, and that's to see you being, and I know you said successful in quotation marks, but I mean, no, I mean, you are successful at that, and everybody defines success a little bit differently. And I mean, that's kind of the avenue that we are striving for. And so to see somebody as yourself be successful in, you know, doing something different, obviously, than what we're doing, but the same avenue, I mean, that's really great to see. You know, it's encouraging, and we love that you're still putting out the videos too. So
for sure.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, you have to, there was a I don't know who said it. It's one of these quotes that somebody said. Maybe it was some CEO or just some entrepreneur or something. But I think what they said was, an entrepreneur is somebody who spends 80 hours a week trying to avoid working 40 hours a week.
That's a great
like, what a great quote. But that is kind of how I feel. It's like, well, I'm going to the post office to send out aprons that I'm making here at home. I'm working on a new album now that nobody asked for. I'm doing you know, I have about 5 completely different things. I'll get on a plane and go to St. Louis and Chicago. And I feel like there's never really a time that I'm not somehow doing my work. And so that's sort of the trade-off. I think a job, you know, you get to after 6 p.m. or whatever, you don't have to think about it anymore, and then you can move on with your life. Whereas I feel like tonight I'll be going, okay, all right, oh, that's right, I've got to send a couple of international cookbooks to the patrons or whatever. Like, it just kind of never ends, you know. But I have worked jobs, and so I keep on telling myself, well, this is just it's a job, but it's a fun one. So so that's pretty cool that that you're doing it, and I'm sure there is a lot of overlap with podcast and YouTube web series and stuff like that. It's that's creative in terms of how you.
What's cool is the podcasting for me. It was the gateway drug, I guess. Into
Mhm.
everything I do. I've been podcasting for over a decade, and
Yeah.
it has helped me make connections, but make friends with people, great people like you, for instance, and other
Mhm.
guests I've had on the show, and getting to do our podcast in front of like an audience at conventions has been really
Yeah,
cool.
that's fun.
To do that as well. So I mean, it is a very freeing thing. I would imagine you agree when you don't have to punch in and have somebody else have to kind of tell you what to do all the time.
Yeah, you can be your own
Um,
boss. That's really
you know,
good.
but it can also get very overwhelming when you know that you do have to keep up with certain things all the time, and you have
Mhm.
multiple things you had to do. One thing I wanted to ask you about your content in particular, I don't think I touched on
Yeah.
this in the last time we had you on, was I am a big fan of fun facts.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I ever got to tell you, but I'm always telling Raven some fun facts that she did not know about.
Oh Lord,
Like, I shared with her how Colonel Sanders took a trip to Japan, and that's how they got KFC
that is
there.
not
I
how.
don't know if you knew that or not.
No,
But
I did not know that.
it
well-
is not true. Do not
Hey.
believe it.
Hey, stop it, right? Don't disregard my interesting trivia. But as a man who appreciates fun facts, I gotta know, where do you come up? Where are all of these facts
Yes, that you
in your
put
videos?
Your videos.
There's a website, and if you don't know about this website, you need to go to it. It's called wikipedia.com or .org, one of those. And it's incredible. It's a fountain, an endless, bottomless fountain of information. And you can find out so many fascinating things. Like, I think I was making Chinese duck, and then I found out that the duck is like a symbol of love or something in China or something like that. And also, I don't always remember all of the details, but I'll usually read the entire Wikipedia of whatever dish that I'm making, and then I'll just look into the camera and try to recite everything that I just read from memory, and it'll come out. For example, toasted raviolis. Have you guys been to St. Louis and had toasted raviolis? That's like their big thing. And if you read the Wikipedia, okay, and then you just turn on the camera and just try to say whatever you just read. Someone named Mama Leone had some hungry sons that came over after a game one night, and somebody spilled the oil on the ravioli or something, and they became toasted, and that's why they were drunk, and they decided that they liked it, and that was the birth of toasted raviolis, I think. Yeah.
Love it.
You just try to remember it the best that you can.
Man, and here I thought you just knew this.
No, absolutely not. No, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, the people. I just learn it right up minutes before I recite it into the camera, and sometimes you get the pronunciations wrong, but this is the new age we're in. We have to hear information third, fourth, fifth hand from somebody who's just repeating whatever they just learned. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite recipe that you've done?
Ooh.
I'm sure I do. The ice cream one that I just dropped on YouTube, homemade ice cream, that one kind of blew me away, that you can actually literally make ice cream without an ice cream maker or anything, because it does at the end come out kind of like actual ice cream. And I think
it does.
Yeah.
If I were a teenager,
good enough.
Yeah, if I were a teenager and I knew that if I was bored after school and I had nothing to do, I could have gotten ice, milk, sugar, and a little bit of salt and a couple of plastic bags and shake them all around and eventually squirt out something that literally looked like ice cream, and with some food coloring or whatever. That's pretty awesome. And it's like a science experiment.
Yeah, I used to be a day camp counselor, and we actually did that one summer. Made the ice cream in a bag Yeah.
That's so cool.
So when I
and
saw that, I was like, "That's awesome that he's doing this." Yeah.
No,
and that's
you
kind of
saw
the
that.
good.
Don't lie, because you saw that and you were like, "Oh God, what's this?"
I did. I said, "Oh,
Well, yeah, I
yeah,
definitely had my problems with it. I think mine was runny and the color was off. And I didn't realize
Little
capers
mauve.
I thought capers were like a nice sweet treat, but it turns out they're like a savory thing. They didn't go
That
well
is
in
when I
ice
was
cream.
like, oh my
I
God,
know.
what is he doing?"
Yeah. But that's the good news about this era that we're in, is that you can look up how to do just about anything, even something like make ice cream. And I'm making a CD or an album. I don't know what you'd call it nowadays. I might put it out on vinyl. I'm
I
thinking
still
about
call
that.
it CD too.
Yeah,
Vinyl would be amazing.
putting out an album for Jose Suicidio, who does all the tracks for all the
Yes.
Henry's Kitchen. And but I'm just amazed at how you can just about any sound that you're looking for or any instrument, you can look it up. I use Logic, the music program that goes with Mac, and any like special effect that you want to do, or just a way to get a better sound, you can look up on YouTube, and chances are somebody's explaining how to do it. The secrets of the albums that we grew up listening to, and I think that's the good news about all this, is that you can learn how to make homemade ice cream. You can learn how to make albums that sound like Queen or whatever. It's just kind of incredible what you can do. You can make, so fish Wellington I made, that came out tasting pretty bad, but on the live show I made beef Wellington.
That's the one I remember. I was just
With
like,
Chef Reactions. Chef Reactions was a guest, and I made beef Wellington, and I could not believe how good that tasted. And if I had the ability to make that, I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a big job.
Yeah,
but that's good. That was probably the best thing I've ever made. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, I should just sign me up to be, one of these big chefs in New York or something.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. I didn't know. I asked you last time what was the one thing you made that you were like, oh, this is actually really good. I don't want to make it taste good. So now I'm going to ask you the opposite. Of all the things you've had, and which by the way, what really cracks me up, I always get ready. I always get excited for the end, because try as you might, you do not hide very well.
Yeah,
a good something taste. So of all the things you've made thus far, what has been the worst tasting thing?
The worst.
What has been like just the?
I think it was like, I did kitchen cupboard casserole. That was nasty. That was just nasty.
Okay.
And in a similar way, I made a hangover cure casserole. Casseroles in general, because it's very risky, because you're combining a lot of different flavors there.
Yes, you are.
And you're also trying to use up ingredients that you have around the house that you haven't really used. And a lot can go wrong there. Mustard ketchup. Or no.
Oh my gosh.
Mushroom ketchup.
Mushroom.
Mustard ketchup is just that's just normal. But yeah, mushroom ketchup. That stuff was nasty.
That looked horrible.
And I think there's nothing wrong with mushrooms. You had to put salt and malt vinegar, I think, in it or something. It's just not something that it's not a taste that you're expecting to come out of a squeeze bottle there, and you put it on your hot dog. There's a reason that one is from the Middle Ages, and it never really made it into the modern times. That stuff. But apparently it was a condiment that they would use for things back in the
Well, I mean, they
80s.
did use a lot of like vinegar and stuff to cover taste, because I mean, like, they didn't have
the meat would go bad,
refrigeration, and stuff. So to cover up the taste,
that's what a lot of spices are. That's why they were in so high demand. Is they would travel to India and all these places to cover up their shitty cooking. That's basically because you read about that and you're just like, well, the spice trade why in the hell were they so interested in spices? Like, who cares? But yeah, that was probably the secret.
Right. Yeah. So Josh up here, I know you've been pretty quiet up there.
Yeah.
He just watched you, I think, for the first time tonight.
For the first time today, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so Josh, what did you think? What did you said you watched the Big Mac episode?
I was laughing my ass off by the time you're like, well, you pull out a permanent marker here for the middle bun.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty good.
Be very careful. You don't want to eat the outside of that. You gotta not eat the ink part.
Don't eat that part. That's good. I enjoyed it. I watched that one and the spaghetti one.
Baked spaghetti? Or spaghetti and meatballs. Oh yeah. That was kind of my introduction to Twitch. I think that one's the one that started going around on Twitch.
Okay. That is the one.
I think Nim saw that one, and then we eventually got to be internet friends, and he's the one who got me on Twitch. But yeah, the spaghetti and meatballs. Yeah, there were a couple of mishaps with that. I think that might be the one where I swapped out. Well, I've done this a couple of times. I still to this day do not understand. Well, let me close it. What tomato paste is. I just assumed it's tomatoes.
Well, I thought it was tomato puree.
So why would it taste different from tomato sauce? I don't understand, but it's a world of difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same thing.
Oh, when you substitute things is both my favorite and and my like face palm, like, oh my God, like I have to close my eyes. Like, what is he doing? It is not the same. You're like, it's basically the same thing. I'm like, it's not even remotely close to being the same thing.
Have you tried so Google, I guess in the last couple of years now, this is obvious, but when you do a Google search, it gives you the AI overview or whatever.
Oh, God, yes.
It will always say yes when you say, can I substitute some random ingredient in the Thai dish that you're making or whatever. It's like, what is this? Ganjel or something like that. It's some random thing that it's like ginger or whatever. And I was trying to make it. Can I substitute this? It always says yes. It just there's never a time that it says no. That you just can't. You're not making the dish at that point. If it just never says that. So yeah, you can always substitute anything with everything. Can I substitute soy sauce?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure if you looked it up right now, it would say yes, you can substitute soy sauce with whatever. And then it's like, no, it's overly positive.
Maybe there'll be a time where you'll have done so many dishes.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna be the AI for the cooking.
Well, it's not
pull you up. Has it ever pulled you up for like? Has it ever have you ever searched it and been like,
yeah,
oh yeah, Henry Phillips did this on YouTube, and
somebody commented on my YouTube, and I feel bad because I mean I don't like to deceive people. I liked it in my younger days, but with all the deception that's going on in the world right now, I don't like to be too much a part of that. But it was pretty funny. Somebody commented on YouTube. When I put my fish Wellington out, it was within hours of me putting it out. They Googled, is fish Wellington a thing? And then the source that it used was my video. And it said, yeah, it is. Here's a guy.
Yeah, sure.
Here's a guy who just made it. And I'm like, all right, well, you got to get a better source than that one. So yeah, whatever you do becomes the real thing, I guess.
Jeez,
I'm a big fan of Gordon Ramsay. Okay.
Yeah.
And I would love it if you ever got in his radar. I think that'd be the most funny thing where like the two of you
you know what? I got a call. I literally had somebody reach out to me on Instagram or on YouTube or no, I think they might have emailed me and they said, hi, I work for this Gordon Ramsay TV show that's coming out. This was like a year ago, so it must be coming out soon. I'm a casting person for it, and we just want to know, like, do you cook? Like, do you really cook? And I said, no, I don't really know how to cook. I don't know if you've seen what I do. And then they said, well, no, we figured you're probably doing a joke or whatever, but a lot of times people also know how to cook for real. And I kind of got the feeling they were like, well, this guy's got a lot of viral videos, on Instagram, and there's a couple clips and everything. So they were sort of working backwards from that, saying, well, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And I had to be honest with them, but I still wanted to be on the show. I was like, well, when you watch American Idol or something, they'll always have the guys that suck, in the beginning.
William
I
Hung.
could be one of those guys.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
And they
say.
were-
Like he put out a whole album. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people still remember him.
Exactly. And I was like, let me do that. And they were like, no, we're not really interested in doing that. Apparently Gordon Ramsay is a consummate professional, and he just doesn't really kind of care for those types of hijinks. So,
no, that's a lie, because I'm going to call him out for that, because here's the thing. You watch his TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Ramsay's TikTok.
Yeah.
He does like kind of react to the more funny people in the kitchen.
Well,
so maybe one day
this was the casting person saying that.
Yeah, probably, because I've seen him.
Or maybe they were just referring to the television show itself and not necessarily
Yeah.
his
Could have
personality.
been.
I was like, because he's a pretty funny guy. Like he could.
I swear, if I had seen you on that show, I'd have been like, "Oh my god, it's hit! No way!"
Yeah, we.
I would have lost my shit.
I would love to.
And that's funny, because when we had first met you here, that's been like 5 years ago. 5 years ago. That was my big question: are you really good?
Yeah, that was. I remember that. Yeah.
Good.
Well,
cosplaying
I am getting better. I'm getting better at it. But and I might have said this too, because I firmly believe it. I think that cooking is similar to music or athletics. You have a proclivity. Cooking is like, some people have a proclivity for it.
I see.
Where people, your friend's mom can just come over and taste it with a spoon. Oh no, that needs more salt. Or it's like, oh no, you need. Whereas I'm just going, what are you doing? You just put salt in this thing. It says, a quarter of a teaspoon. You just fucked up the whole thing, you crazy idiot. And they're like, no, you do it by taste. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I can follow directions, but apparently you need to be able to veer from the directions. It always says, right? Doesn't it always say on the box, cook for 9 to 11 minutes or whatever? And it's I'm always like, well, then that means 10, right? Like,
we were just watching that last night. Yeah.
But it's not fair for them to say 9 or 11, and then you have to figure it out. It's tell me how long to put it in. That's what I'm looking for. But I guess there's preferences, and then there's also altitudes. You could have a different result based on what geographical location you are, or whatever.
And if you're cooking on a gas stove or electric or microwave,
there's all these variables in the kitchen, right?
Yeah. So if it's following directions, at this point, I can turn out something, and that's why that beef Wellington went so well, I think, because I had chef reactions there with me. And that really came out pretty fantastic.
That's good.
And I think it's because I did everything according to the directions. But if I have to veer at all, then I'm in trouble. And there's some things I don't understand. Like, for example, I have a no stick pan. Everything sticks to that damn pan.
Why?
I try to make omelets on there. They should call it a stick pan, because it's literally everything, and it's hard to wash up. I'm like, I thought it's a no stick pan,
So I will say that the cookware in recent years, nonstick, I think there is something in the way that they have changed the nonstick stuff, because if it gets let's say punctured or wounded or whatever, if it gets scratched or wounded. Yes. Hey, I work in health.
A wounded
okay? I work in health.
Wounded.
If it gets wounded, I've wounded my cookware for sure.
That's my vernacular. So, but if you scratch it or anything like that, it can actually, or at least it used to be where something can seep out into your food and make you sick. So I think that they have actually changed how they've made some of the coating on the nonstick cookware, so it's not as effective as it used to be because too many people were getting sick.
Now he's going to say he's wounded his pan.
Yeah.
I really,
Well,
that's great.
I mean, yeah, I have ended up with, but you know, when you watch,
Thank you.
when you
Jeez
watch
Louise.
YouTube, especially these Japanese chefs that make like stir-fried rice or whatever,
Mm.
I mean, it looks just beautiful in there, and their wok is all nice and clean and stuff. And then you compare that to what I'm doing, it's a world of difference. I think they use AI or something, because there's no way that somebody can make food that looks that organized.
So my question to you also, and I don't think I also mentioned this before, you had done like, you know, all your videos before Twitch, you know, pre-recorded, right? So you get multiple takes. You get the opportunity,
Sure, yeah.
right? You can, you know, like you said, you've probably fucking laughed and your way through so many things. There's moments where you're doing the stare, and I feel like you're doing it like so hard because you don't want to crack up.
Yeah,
What's
probably.
that like now, where you're not only doing pre-recorded content, but now things are live?
Yeah.
So what's the big? What are some of the big differences in performing in front of an audience of people online versus it's pre-recorded and you can kind of edit your way through that?
Yeah, it's very different. And those episodes, those Twitch episodes live on YouTube. There's a fan that puts them all up there, and they're on there forever. It's a very different, more long form version of the thing. It's a great question. It's very rare that I'll go into a laughing fit, but it has happened. Every now and then I have to cut to something or walk off because of something will just make me laugh. It'll just strike me as funny. And but that's pretty rare. Usually I love the Q&A. You know, I love looking at people's chat, and it's sort of an automatic content kind of thing. You know, there'll never really be a dull moment as long as people are chiming in and I'm reading off what people are saying and I'm responding to it. So at this point, it's really come down to a format, because I'm a kind of a person that needs some kind of a format. And so at this point, it's open up with the pictures that people have submitted, and we talk, we do a little chatting, and then I'll do a couple of song requests. Then I'll start making the dish. And then if I have a game, I'll play it, or sometimes I'll play with other people. And then that's it. And then we just wrap out. It's not just sit on there for 9 hours and play a game, because that's not really what I do. I know that's a different kind of entertainment.
Sure.
But I'm still in that kind of old school world where you do like a show, you know, and it's an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I like the interaction.
It's like a variety hour.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And
that's what I grew up watching, is variety hours, you know. So.
Yeah. I love that. And I'm actually hoping, or morning radio kind of, you know, that's what it always was. You know, I'd like to do more guests if I could. It's a little bit hard to do. But I'd like to do a little bit of that, or maybe get on the phone or get on Discord or something like that. I loved doing collaborations with Chef Reactions. We did too. And that was really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if he streams anymore. I mean, he's really big on Instagram and TikTok, but yeah, I'd like to do a little bit more collaboration.
Now, you had mentioned earlier about sending aprons and cookbooks and things. Now, I noticed
merch.
Yeah, I noticed in a couple of your videos that you had spices with your label on them, and you had a cutting board. Are those available as well, or what type of merch do you have?
During the holidays, I have these stickers, and you put them over your existing stickers. So I actually have them here. I didn't pull these out, but yeah. So this is Stoked Pampika. I'm sure that underneath here there was another Stoked Pampika, but I think I was just I was either just putting them in for the merch. There's like 4 stickers, and you just stick them over. This is all spices. So that's literally all the spices that there are. And so, yeah, you just put the stickers over whatever existing one that you have. But I don't, it was a little hard for me to sell them as merch because I could never really figure out the shipping. It's like the shipping cost was way more than the thing cost. But so I was just putting them in with, I think it was like for an extra $5, you get the full set of stickers or something like that. And I'll probably do that again. But I'll be honest with you, I mean, it warms my heart when I see people come to these shows with aprons or cookbooks or whatever. And but I gotta say, it's my least favorite part of what I do is getting an envelope, putting the stuff in there. I'm not telling people don't buy anything, but making the aprons, like I go to Michael's and I get these Cricut letters and I iron them onto the apron.
Okay, that's actually
up,
really
put
awesome.
them in the envelopes, go down to the post office. They all know me by name now, and I send them out. And it's a grind. I mean, it's a little bit. Again, I don't ever want to complain because I've had jobs and not liked them, and so I feel like I'm very lucky that I can do what I do. But yeah, that's probably the most tedious part, and people will email me and say, hey, when are these going to be back in stock? And I'm like, when I finally have the mental capacity to get more aprons and actually feel like walking to the post office and do more of that stuff. But
that's actually really cool that it's you doing that. Like,
that's valuable.
That's
for me.
well,
I love that.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, I feel like except for like the CD, which will probably just be available like wherever you stream music or on, like the cookbooks you can get on Amazon. For Christmas, I do order author copies and I sign them and send them out that way. But I'll be honest with you, to that point, I'd rather do it that way because I feel like I can't compete with big department stores and the merchandise they have. But what I can do is say that I'm signing these myself and folding them and sending them out to you. That's what I can do. And that's something department stores and stuff can't do, They would just, hey, can you sign that for me before you send it? They'd be like, what are you talking about? So there's a really good book for anybody out there who's into, Brian, what you're doing or what we were talking about, what I'm doing. It's called The Passion Economy. And it was written by the guy who made Planet Money, the podcast. And he talks about how we are in this unique time where we can make whatever our dream is. He always wanted to be a financial journalist, but it's very difficult to jump through the hoops to get a job like that. But when podcasts open up and it's suddenly, well, you can. But one of the things that he says is that you can't ever try to compete with the big boys. You have to be something that they can't do, Say fuck a lot, They can't do that, That's something that you can do. And then, there's just, but that's kind of interesting. Like as soon as you start trying to polish up your stuff and make it as good as a Taylor Swift song, for example, instead of a Jose Suisadia song, but then they're just going to go to Taylor Swift because that's better. But you want to try to have a little bit of a unique stamp on it, that's your own charm or whatever,
Well, I gotta say, I before we wrap up, I'd be amiss if I didn't talk about what was one part of your unique charm, which was your cat roast beef. I wanted to
thank you so much for the gifts that you sent roast beef. I still have that beautiful little hat. It's hard to look at that stuff afterward. Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing the video and then seeing the last photo was him wearing the little chef's hat. I was like, thing. Every video we're like, where's roast beef? Where's roast beef? Yeah.
He was a special cat. Well, now I have backlogged videos that have him in there, but I think I'm going to sort of put them in black and white or something because I don't want people to think that he's still there. It's just more
that you have a new kitty and
I don't want confusion there, but he was really, and yeah, just an incredible. His his face was perfect for the camera.
Yeah,
And
I remember when you were playing Stray on
yeah,
on Twitch too.
yeah.
Just looked so similar to him.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it was amazing. But yeah, that's tough. There were so many nice comments. So there's a tribute to roast beef on YouTube that people can watch, and it's got all the best moments of him. I mean, there's others too, but somebody put on there. Well, do you guys have pets?
Do.
Yeah, we have
You do.
2 dogs right now
2 dogs.
and a tarantula. But yeah, we've had pet rats and everything.
So great. So one commenter put it in a really good way. They said, the grief that we have from their passing is the trade-off. It's the price that we pay. It's the cost of all the lovely years that we spend together with them. And when you look at it that way, it's like, yeah, it's really hard when that moment comes. It's very difficult. But you got to tell yourself otherwise the whole thing would have never happened, And but yeah, that was pretty rough. He got to a point, well, he was very old, he was 21.
Yeah.
Which is old for a cat.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't remember that being that old.
And what was sad is he got to a point where if he was just sitting up there, he was fine. But he had some kind of a mass like in his breathing, area, and he if he tried to get up to go get food, he would get exhausted just a few feet into his walk, and he'd lie down, and it was like, okay, well, now it's time. But what's so hard is taking him over there, and he looked great when he was just sitting up doing nothing. It was only when he tried to walk, and it was, you keep on asking yourself, is it the right time? And anybody out there who's struggling with knowing that they have to euthanize their pet, and it's easy to put off because you're always like, well, who am I to say, whether he should live or die or whatever, I will say that afterward, I was like, that was absolutely the right thing to do. And but I mean, after your vet also says, hey, it's time, because he was not in a good place, and but it's hard because you're just like, well, I just want him to, die in his sleep all of a sudden naturally, but it doesn't really happen that way. They just get more and more tortured.
Yeah, I've unfortunately been on the side where I've had to take, pets to have that to have that done, and then also where they've passed at home, and it is by far, I want to say, easier to take them to have that done than it is to lose them at home, because unless it is of course in their sleep, but that
it's not the way it happens.
And it's hard holding them and having them take their last breath, but in the end, I mean, it's you always know when you've done the right thing.
I really did feel afterward that it was the right thing to do and the right time, but that was tough. But
but we appreciate you, sharing him with us and everybody. That was such a special. He was just a special little kitty, man. And
he really was.
I just remember seeing him. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could just reach through the screen and give him some pets. I bet he was so strong.
Oh, he was great. Just a big bundle. And I miss the mornings. The mornings were the best. I'd get up and I'd see him on the couch, just sitting by the window in the sunlight, and it was feeding time, and then he would just do this thing. We're doing it. And that was the last couple of weeks there. It was tough to not see him be as excited about that. And but he also, it's a lesson in comedy too. I'm not the first one to say this, but there is something about cats that is very funny. They have this deadpan, sort of way about them that can be,
Yeah,
you
and
can
he does.
learn to emulate that,
Mhm.
then that really helps, you know, because they
Yeah.
have this kind of way that they're just looking at you like you're stupid, you know. And it's really great.
Probably some of my favorite parts of your videos that you incorporated him there was when you would like cut away to him and like you would be making a noise or you would be doing something in the kitchen and you'd cut away the live camera on Twitch or what have you. And he looked so annoyed. He would just look back at you like, are you seriously doing this right now? I am trying to sleep. Or when he would, like, head against the like arm of the couch or something
like I had enough of this shit.
Get me out of here.
Like, what are you doing, man? In there,
absolutely,
yeah.
But you guys were like in your own way a little comedy duo. And it was you know, and I know that's
comedy partner,
and I know that's a big empty thing. I'm sure that you felt
oh
from time to time now, and the community we have felt that as well. And but yeah, I mean, losing a pet's like losing a member of your family, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's rough. Yeah.
And but he's definitely something that we'll forever treasure. And the good part is we can always go back and enjoy.
There's tons of footage out there.
Yeah.
And then but we appreciate you for the comedy that you give us and the fun memories. We always look forward when a new video is in our sub box, and I'm always excited to see how my wife reacts to them all.
He has joked that he's gonna like start doing reaction videos of me watching your
like that.
I've seen some of those, and I love those. Those are great. People send me their mom watching it or something, and I absolutely love it. Yeah.
That's great. I haven't seen those. I bet those are funny. I'm gonna have to take a look.
Yeah. The way you're so good at hitting those moments throughout, you know, whether you're using like the grater,
the knife is turned upside down,
or you say you're dicing the onion and you're not. Like,
oh my gosh, we're ripping apart the onion in your hands, and you're like, dicing the onion. I'm like, what?
Well, you know, if you don't have formal training, there's no way to learn this kind of stuff.
I always tell her that
she can learn make it.
Yeah.
Always tell her.
I'm sure I could.
In the kitchen. I think one thing I would love to personally see that if you ever wanted to do something more, I think it'd be kind of fun if you did like in-person classes, which would be kind of funny. Like just, you know, like at a convention, maybe if they ever had you come out, be like,
that would be interesting.
Come cook with Henry, and it's just a funny thing. Like,
I think that would be great.
I would love to.
That would be a really hilarious.
I think it's a great idea.
Yes. So that would be kind of funny.
I'll start trying to get my wheels turning and see if I can figure out how to do that.
You totally should, man, because I would attend. I would go to that cooking class. I've never been to a cooking class. I would go to yours first.
I mean, it could even be something. I'm thinking of like logistics in terms of like, you know, ingredients and, you know, pans and, you know, whatever, all the equipment and stuff. But I'm thinking like even in the ice cream in a bag or, you know, like little, you know, something that wouldn't require a lot of.
Maybe that because I am terrible in the kitchen, like so bad. I think you have those people who the serious people who want to get people like me to know how to cook, and they get so frustrated.
Yeah,
I think with you take away that anxiety because I know you're not trying to do that. Like,
no, that's true. That's true.
Fun, you know, and if
get creative.
Life's
like
too short. Yeah,
to
stress about it.
But we do appreciate you, Henry, for taking the time and joining us in this new episode of the Next Level podcast. Guys, go to he's got henryphillips.com. You can go to his website. You can go to twitch.tv/henlips1. That's his Twitch channel. He's live every week.
There's
on there.
also Henrys.Kitchen. Just all no apostrophe, just Henrys.Kitchen. You can go to that, and it's got all the links.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
That's even better. We'll throw that down in the description below here on YouTube. And thanks to those of you that listen to our show on YouTube, or we're everywhere else as well. We're on Spotify, podcasts, all that. But thank you, Henry, for joining us. We hope that you we hope that you end up coming near us one day, so we can get you take you out for a drink. And come
September, I'll be a couple hours away, but not too far. You know,
figure that out. Yeah, we'd love
see
to
if
come and see
I
you.
want to get. I used to do Columbus, Indiana. That was a gig I used to do, and I'm looking at doing that.
It's not that far at all.
Yeah. You said it's not on your website yet, but you'll
not yet, but I'll be putting it on there soon. That's not till September. Yeah,
September. We
Sounds
got to
like a
keep
plan.
the date open.
Keep the day open.
yeah.
But thank you so much, Henry. We super
All
appreciate
right, you guys. Great to
Take
see
care.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for having me.
Absolutely.